Breaking news. It would seem that after Naruto Shippuden, after the 4th Great Shinobi War, right before Boruto, that gray area in between, Gaara was engaged to be married. Let's talk about it. Before I start the review, the summary of Gaara Hiden, I have to mention that there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but Gaara Hiden is one of the light novels that was never officially translated into English, right? So I had to get other means of translating it for me to be able to do this breakdown of the chapters and of the book. So technically, this is the 5th novel in the light novel lineup. And if you remember from my last light novel conversation with Shikamaru's story, Shikamaru is dating Temari, and in this book, years have passed, and Shikamaru and Temari are now officially planning their wedding, right? And I'm talking years have passed. At the end of Shikamaru's story, they had just planning their first date. So you can imagine how many years have passed now that we're in Gaara's Hiden, and they're planning their marriage, okay? So, like everybody can imagine, and I'm sure everybody kind of already thought this, Hyuga, how's the marriage between two different countries, between two different villages, going to work out? This is not like in today's age where you can just up and move and up and leave and stuff of that nature. This is a very political wedding. It's extremely political wedding because you have Shikamaru, who is the aide to the Hokage, and you have Temari, the biological sister to the Kazekage. Okay? They don't have the best of blood between one another. Yes, Gaara and Naruto are friends, but if you remember, the Sand Village has attacked the Leaf Village a number of times. The most prominent one we can remember is during the tuning exams. But it's that marriage that's happening between Shikamaru and Temari that stems Gaara needing to become married himself. So I'm going to get into that in just a few. So the chapter kicks off with Gaara being called into a meeting with the village elders. And they tell him that they have an issue, and the issue is that Temari and Shikamaru are getting married. That is the issue that they present to Gaara. Basically, what had happened was they only approved of their wedding together if Gaara gets married too and has children. Like, immediately. Like, he needs to be married at the same time, if not before, Temari and Shikamaru's wedding goes off. The problem that the elders have with this is not the fact that Temari wants to get married. It's that she's getting married before Gaara gets married. Now, when I read this, I wasn't thinking along the lines of Edo or feudal Japan standpoint, so they had to, I'm glad they explained it, at least from the translation of what I got. So basically, they explained that because Temari, a woman, is marrying Shikamaru, a man, she will be married into the Land of Fire. Meaning she will be married into a Konoha clan. So she's being married into the Nara clan, right? So what does that mean? That means that any children Temari have will be considered children of the Leaf Village in the Land of Fire first. This also means that not only will Temari and Shikamaru's kids have the ability to become the Hokage, because they're Leaf Shinobi first, they're Leaf citizens first. So not only will they have that ability to become Hokage, they also have the ability to become the Kazekage as well. Because, and this isn't for every citizen, this is just for Temari's kids. Because I never looked at it like this in terms of, you know, nobility. There was never really a nobility, plot when it comes to Kages, right? It just so happens that the Kazekages, it's really like father than son, and Hokage's father than son, but it's different for the Hokages because it was never like one after the other. It was Minato, Tsunade, Kakashi, then Naruto. But for the Kazekage, it was, I don't remember the man's name, it was 4th Kazekage, and then it was his son Gaara. So they explain all this to Gaara, and he really doesn't have a choice at this point. He needs to get married, because if he doesn't, then the elders are not going to give the blessings to Temari to marry Shikamaru, because like I said earlier, this is a very, very, very political wedding. Honestly, it could be considered a dangerous wedding, because you could have radical shinobi on either side that drastically oppose it, right? We saw the problem arise during the 4th Great Shinobi War, when they tried to get shinobi just to fight alongside each other. And they were like, they almost had a fight right then and there before Gaara's speech. They're like, no, I'm not fighting alongside this guy. He killed my brother. What do I look like teaming up with him? It could be seen as this is happening just because of politics. I have no idea the ins and outs. Literally, this is just thrown to us. It's the beginning. Shikamaru's Hiden didn't go that far into it. Didn't go at all into them dating, where they went, things of that nature. I think it was a filler episodes that came out in Naruto Shippuden, but I didn't watch any of that. So it is going to be, that's the end of chapter 1, by the way. It's going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen in chapter 2, because if Gaara doesn't do it, Tamari doesn't get to find love, she doesn't get to get married, and we already know how that happened in Boruto. They're married and they have children. Gaara has children in Boruto. He has a child in Boruto, but it's not biological. So we're going to see how all this plays out. I'm not going to drag this on anymore. He's not married in Boruto. I'm still thinking about it. He's not married in Boruto. So something went wrong. But Tamari and Shikamaru also, they did get married. But it's not like she defected from the Hidden Sand Village. She's still in good grace with the Hidden Sand Village. So something happened along the way. We're going to find out in chapter 2. I'm actually going to read it right after this because I want to know. So expect Gaara's Hiden chapter 2 to be coming out later this week. Excuse me. That's all I have for y'all. Tell me what you think about this. Who could you even see marrying Gaara? He is such an awkward person. Even when he became more social in Shippuden, he's still awkward. Even now in Boruto, he's still awkward. So I can't see who they would have ever picked out for him to marry in this arranged marriage. This is also the first time we're seeing an arranged marriage take place within the Naruto series and its franchise in itself. But I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe, share, like, all that fancy stuff. And like always, keep it safe and wrap it tight. I'm out.
zones. Another day.